How is it going, everyone? It's Lumby here, and I found another video game that I've been looking for a while, and that is SpongeBob SquarePants, the movie video game. I played this game so much as a kid, I burnt out the disc. I loved this game. I love the SpongeBob SquarePants movie in general, and I love SpongeBob SquarePants in general. That was a huge part of my childhood, and I loved watching it every minute of every day. I had a problem, but, is it really a problem? If you're enjoying it, ask yourself that. But anywho, I enjoyed watching SpongeBob back in the day, and I enjoyed playing all of the SpongeBob games, but SpongeBob the movie held a special place in my heart as my favorite SpongeBob video game. I just love the level design. I love the platforming in this. I love the actual Krabby Patty sandwich. I think it's the Krabby Patty Mobile, I think is the name of it, where you're literally driving a Krabby Patty and you're going through these different tracks, and some of them you're looking for keys, some of them you are, just trying to beat the clock, some of them you're just trying to get to the actual end objective. I just like the different little racing against the clock, challenges that they make with the Krabby Patty Mobile. And I like a lot of the other kind of like slide challenges that are in this game, because there's one where you're sliding in a bathtub, and you're basically trying to get to the end of the track to destroy a radio tower that Plankton has set up to brainwash people, and that's a really fun track. I really enjoy going through that. There's another one where you are going down into the gigantic trench where all like the creepy fish are, and you are sliding down, and you're like jumping into the mouths of other fish, and you're going inside the fish, and they have like weird like organs that will shoot things at you. It's really gross, but it's also really cool. But it's a really fun game, and I've always loved it. I love everything about this game. The voice acting is pretty good. The actual way it tells the story, it just basically shows you pictures from the movie and has a little narrator over it and basically goes through the story that way. That's pretty common in a lot of the movie-based video games. But it does have some actual in-game engine cutscenes as well. They're just not they're not as prevalent as the actual movie cutscenes. But you're not here for the cutscenes. You're here for the gameplay. And the gameplay is absolutely worth playing. You play as Patrick, and you can swap over to... you play as SpongeBob, my bad. And you can swap over to Patrick. And you get a bunch of different moves as you go along the campaign. You start off with just your regular karate chop move. But as you go on as SpongeBob, you unlock a... basically like boxing glove that you can press the triangle button and your character will like do an uppercut move, and you can eventually upgrade that by collecting these little dumbbells, and if you collect enough dumbbells you can upgrade that to be an exploding glove that has spikes on it, so you can jump up and hit an enemy on the butt and it will actually like stay on their butt, and then you can press the button to make it explode. That's a cool ability. You get a guitar as SpongeBob eventually, and it's like a homing missile, basically. It sends out a sound wave, and you can control where the sound wave goes. You get a bowling ability as SpongeBob. As Patrick, you get a cartwheel ability. And also, I should point out that each character has their own things that they can specifically do. So SpongeBob, he can do wall climbing, so he can jump and like basically smack against one wall, and then jump and smack against another wall to get up to higher places. Patrick can stick his tongue out and grab onto ice cubes, and he can swing from ice cubes back and forth, so that's pretty cool as well. Patrick can also lift things, so if you're on a lava level, you can pick up these ice cubes, throw them in the lava, freeze it over, and get to places that you wouldn't normally be able to get to. And you will be going back on some of these levels and playing some parts of them over again, because you have to get a certain amount of Goofy Goober coins to be able to unlock new abilities, to get further in the campaign and stuff like that. Goofy Goober coins are the main collectible in this game. They're the main thing that you're going to get at the end of the level. They're basically the stars that you would see in Mario 64. They're basically that. So you're looking for these Goofy Goober coins at the end of the level. You're looking for them in the level. There's some hidden ones around. Some that you can only get if you go back and play the level. And there's some that you can obviously get your first time playing through. There's also hidden treasure chests that you can find that unlock extras, and these extras are anything from concept art to actual alternate outfits, which are pretty cool. This game has one of my favorite outfits in it, which is the Sponge Gar and the Patar. I don't know if Patar's in this, but I remember Sponge Gar being in it, and I absolutely love that episode. The SpongeBob BC episode is my favorite SpongeBob episode of all time. So as a kid, when I unlocked Sponge Gar, that was what I played as always. But yeah. You also get like Disco Patrick, you can get Mermaid Man, SpongeBob, just a lot of cool stuff like that, and a lot of cool references to the TV show. And overall, this is just a fun game. There's a lot of mini games along the way too to get more Goofy Goober coins. There's little battle arenas that'll have you do. There's actually a troll battle arena, which is kind of funny because it trolls you at the end of the game. You're on the one of the final levels, and you get to the final battle arena, and it's just like, this is the super heavy duty battle arena. And then it starts, and there's just one jellyfish in the center you have to defeat. I really liked that. That was kind of funny of the developers to do. And there's other things that are like, there's one where you have to be SpongeBob and like turn into a ball form, and you have to go through this obstacle course, and that one's probably the most difficult one to get through. Those are definitely the hardest mini games. They're all doable though. I went through all of them again when I was playing through it, and I had to, honestly, I think they're a lot of fun. You will fail quite a few times, but you will eventually learn what to do. You will learn the layout of the mini game, and you will figure it out. It's basically just solving a puzzle, and you're going to fail a few times while solving that puzzle, but eventually you will get it if you try again. And there's also one that is called like the floating brick challenge, where you're basically jumping as Patrick on floating bricks that are turning. Some of them have spikes on them, so you have to be careful. They're turning, they're moving, and you have to jump as Patrick to get to the end of the obstacle course to get the Goofy Goober coin. Like I said, there's a lot here. It's a fun game, though. I definitely think it's worth your time. One thing I do want to bring up, this is just kind of a side note that I never noticed before, but I noticed it as an adult playing through this game. The part where David Hasselhoff shows up in the movie, they just basically, they didn't edit it out completely, but what they did, they took David Hasselhoff and they just drew like a generic lifeguard over him so they could get by with, using the scene from the movie, but just drawing over it. So it's like slightly edited, and I thought that was kind of funny playing back through it again, because they're just like, who are you? And he's just like, I'm a lifeguard, instead of saying he's David Hasselhoff, which I thought was kind of funny. But yeah, this is a fun platforming adventure game. It's definitely worth your time. Go check it out if you haven't played it. If you are a SpongeBob fan and you are a fan of the SpongeBob video games and you haven't played this, you owe it to yourself to pick this game up and play it. It's worth it. I played this game. It took me about, I'd say, 8 hours to beat, and I think that is a good time for video games in general. I like my video games to be anywhere between 5 to 10 hours long when it comes to adventure games. I feel like if they go further than that, then they're just kind of taking up too much time, and they're usually too bloated, in my opinion. But to me, this is the perfect length for a game like this, a platforming game, and I definitely think you should check it out. Thank you for watching. I'll talk to you in the next video. You have a fantastic day. Go play SpongeBob the movie game, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.